So how do you do the collective approach? So that you pass through the same process. So this is a collective approach one. You do similar thing at the beginning where you upload all the transcripts, and also if you have demographic information, you can do that. You can upload that information too. Make sure that if you want to do framework metrics later, make sure that you select the first one, select the last one by clicking on Shift, right click on it and go to create as cases. You create cases for each participant. It will be useful if you want to create framework metrics, right? And then you click on OK, right? I think it looks like I've already done that. I have cases for each of the participants here. So now for the collective method, think about it like you are doing thematic analysis, where you double click on each of the transcripts, go through each of them, identify information that are significant, and then develop themes. Before you even do that, you also have to do the annotation, similar to the first individualized one that we did. So this means that you read and reread and take notes. And then, so how do you take notes? You select and right click here and go to new annotation, and you'll be able to put your notes here based on your understanding of the significant information you have identified. You don't have to do it for all the significant information, but see notations as your interpretation of the information that you are extracting. After that, then you move on to the next stage, which is the developing of themes, right? We call it emergent themes. You first do it for P1, right? And then you go ahead and develop the themes. You select information that is significant and drop it into the themes. When you finish with this one, you go to P2, you double click on it, and then you do the annotation again by read and reread and taking notes, right? You select and then right click on it and go to select what is significant, right click on it and go to new annotation and then create annotation, right? And then after that, you can go to codes here and also select information that is significant and create containers or emergent themes and drag and drop it into that. The principle here is that you create a new container or a new theme if the existing theme cannot house the information you have selected. So let's say if I identify this one, and then I already have information here that I can drop it into. I don't have to create a new code or a new theme, right? You just drag and drop. But if there's no information here that can house this information, then I can right click on the research question. And then what you do is you go to codes to create a code and drag and drop that information in there. So if you want to understand this process well, first look at my video about individualize so that you know the difference and you know the similarities, right? And then what you have to do is that after going through all the transcript and developing emergent themes as I have here, the next step is to sorting, right? The same way that you do for thematic analysis. So the sorting is all about, you can right click here and then click on new code, and then you can say ST1. We can put it in parentheses, right? ST1. And then you check aggregate coding from children and click on OK. You can do ST2, ST3, ST4, ST5. You can do as much as you want, but maybe start with 5 for now. And then you drag and drop, you group them based on similarities, the same way that you do for thematic analysis. At the end of the day, let me show you what you get for the collective. So let me see. So when you go to codes and click on the plus sign here, this is for only my research question one, which is the how they make meaning of the experience. You see that superordinate themes here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And under that, I have emergent themes, right, which is called initial themes, and then connected to this one, right? And sometimes you can even make this one empty M stands for master theme, right? Don't worry about whether you're calling it superordinate themes or master theme. At the end of the day, it's the main themes, and these are the sub themes, right? And we have five main themes, and you see how I've grouped them under the respective main themes or master themes, right? So that's what you're going to do for the collective. The collective process is easy to do if you have a lot of transcripts to work on. And but the limitation is that you may not have a complete understanding or profile for each of the participants in terms of your interpretation of the experience. So let me give you an overview about the collective process. I uploaded all my transcripts into NVivo. I make sure that I created cases for them. You right click or select all of them and right click and create cases. And then I go through all of them. If you know how to do thematic analysis, the similar process, right? I develop in thematic analysis, we call it initial codes. Here we call it emergent themes. I develop emergent themes, and as you can see here, emergent themes, right? Gone through all the data, but before I develop emergent themes, I have to go through and read and reread to understand each participant's story and take notes. And we use annotations function to take notes. You select and right click and go to new annotation, and then you put your notes there. The notes are your understanding of what participant is telling you. Right. It's not really your reflection per se, but understanding. It's not what is going through your mind. The reflection you can use memo to do that. It's your interpretation. What is the underlying meaning of what participant is telling me? You start the coding process, go to codes, and then you select information that is significant. You develop an initial theme or emergent theme and drag and drop that into the container. At the end of the day, you have a lot of Indian teams. Now you have to categorize them, and then you develop the main theme, or we call it subordinate teams, or you can call it master theme. So I have my five master teams. This process is easy to do compared to the individualized strategy. But as I said, the limitation is that it's difficult to know the individual stories. But there's a way that you can do this to get more information about individual story by going to explore and go into matrix coding query. And then you click on the plus sign, select the first one, check all the transcript, click on OK, click on the plus sign again here, selected items, go to codes, and then click on the plus sign, check the main themes, click on OK, and then run query. It will give you a table that will show who is linked to what. This one will help you to know individual stories, right? So participant one is not linked to agency and autonomy, but it's linked to the second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. Participant two is linked to all of them. Participant three links to all of them. Participant four links to all of them except the last one. If you want to know the quotation, you see the participant three has four quotation connected to this. If you want to know the four quotation, you double click on this. Right, and you see all the four quotation. If you want to know the source, where exactly, you click here, and it will take you to the document where exactly their quotations are. So that's how you'll be able to know their story. You can also create framework metrics by going to create, click on framework metrics, and you can say themes for all participants. And then you go to rows and you click here. Make sure that you create cases for each of participants, because if you don't do that, we cannot run this analysis. You click on OK, go to column, select, and then go to the plus sign here. Select only the main theme or master themes. You click on OK, and then it will create a table for you that will have all the quotations under each of the themes connected to each participant. You right click on this place where it says themes for all participants and undock to bring out the table. So you can see that I have, let me bring the table here. So this is the table that has brought out you have to click on retrieve except to retrieve all the quotation connected to each of the participants under each of the themes. And then within few seconds, you have that information here, right? And then as you can see, let me pull this one back here a little bit. So I can see that P1, there's nothing here. No information was extracted and connected to this from P1, but all these information are here for each of the themes connected to P1. So this one is also help you to tell the story about each participant based on the theme. One can also export it by right-clicking here and going to export, and it will be in Excel spreadsheet for you. So this is what I have for you. If you have any question, you can put in the comment section. I hope that this one was helpful. I know it's very long, but I just want you to get the basic understanding of using NVivo to help you to make sense of your data if you are using IPA. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. It goes a long way to help in making good videos for you and your colleagues. Thank you for your time.